everybody. I'm going to do something that's very long overdue, and that is wipe this microphone, Reese. Disgusting. Hi, my name is Tia, and yes, you have unlocked a new kind of Asian. I am Singaporean Chinese and, oh, thank you, and Austrian, but I'd like to make it really clear I am not half of anything. I am not half Singaporean, I am not half Austrian, and I'm definitely not half bad. Hey. So, being of mixed ethnicity and having grown up in a couple of different places, I like to think that multiculturalism is kind of like my thing. And what better place to celebrate that than London? So I moved to London just over 2 years ago now. And of course, when I moved here, I had to figure out where to stay. So I found this really cool grassroots community site called Spare Room. Yeah, anyone here use it? I am so sorry. So I got on this site, and it felt a bit like online dating, but the stakes were a lot higher. And I thought about where I wanted to live, and I really wanted to dive into the diversity of London. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to live southeast. Yeah. No, hey, don't boo. Don't boo. So I'm going to live southeast, really like a melting pot, culturally diverse, and also the only place I can afford. So I go on Spare Room, and I pop in these 3 locations. We have Lewisham, Beckham, yeah, and Deptford, right? I try and like triangulate the vibrancy in the southeast of London. And I'm hoping to get something, you know, really colourful, diverse, sharing of cultures. And I end up finding these 3 wonderful women, and they are all white from the East Midlands, which was a bit surprising, but at least I found the safest strangers that I could ever meet online. So I moved in with them, and I thought, you know what, I'm quite culturally adaptive, and also I'm used to this dynamic. I know how this works. Colonizer, colonized, straightforward. But no, they ended up being lovely, and they are actually here in the audience tonight. Big up New Cross. And eventually, one of them actually moved out, and an Irish girl moved in, so we formed a united front. No, they really were lovely. But of course, when you meet new people, there are adjustments that need to be made. You have to get to know each other, get to share. And so I like to classify these adjustments as low-level adjustments and high-level adjustments. So I'll give you an example of a low-level adjustment. When a British person says to you, "You're right," they are not asking you if you are all right. What they are doing is they are commencing a call and response sequence in which they will say, "You're right," and you have to say, "Yeah, I'm all right, you're right." And then you just kind of keep going back and forth until you both drown in tea. So that's low level. And then we have higher level. So let's say, here's one. 2 to 3 weeks after moving in with these lovely ladies, one of them walks into the lounge before dinner time and says, "Do you know what? I really fancy a Chinese." To which I say, "What are you talking about? I am right here." Of course, they're talking about British Chinese food, which is a whole other 5-minute set. But it works both ways. So there was a Chinese, and then there was me, and this thing I like to talk about a lot, which is white people. And so I'd say, white people this, white people that, and they would kind of look at me like, "Are you not a white people?" So we got over these things, you know, we learned to love each other. And then it came to breaking point. And it's a bit embarrassing to say, but they caught me doing something I didn't want them to know about. I was in the kitchen. It was late at night. I thought they'd gone to bed. And I was crouched over the sink. And I was washing a Ziploc bag so that I could reuse it. And so when they found this out about me, we didn't speak for a good 3 weeks. But eventually, it was a bag that brought us together. And I'll explain why. We realized that regardless of ethnicity, of background, of upbringing, of socioeconomic status, we all grew up in a household that had a bag of bags. And I think it's safe to say, from that moment onwards, we had our friendship in the bag. Thank you.